He mocked the flight attendant in front of everyone, called her a waitress in the sky, but just minutes later, he was the one collapsed on the cabin floor, and only she could save him. What he discovered on that flight, he would never forget. Denver International Airport. Clear skies, people rushing through terminals with headphones and carry-ons. In the middle of it all, she walked calmly. Uniform crisp, dark hair tied in a bun, a faint smile on her face. No one noticed her. Flight attendants blend in, always smiling, always serving, invisible. Flight 378 to San Diego was nearly full. Among the passengers, a man in an expensive suit, sunglasses, and a watch worth more than her monthly salary. He barreled through the gate, barking into his phone, brushing past her without a glance. She didn't flinch. She was used to being overlooked, undervalued, but today would be different, not because she wanted it to be, but because fate had something else in mind. And when that same man collapsed mid-air, gasping for breath, it would be her hands that would hold his life. Before takeoff, she had noticed a woman in row 6 shaking with fear, a first-time flyer gripping the armrest like it would disappear. The flight attendant knelt beside her, smiled gently, and said, "Here in the sky, we're all passengers, and I'm with you the whole way." The woman smiled for the first time that day. He sank into seat 3A like he owned it. Still on the phone, loud, arrogant, she approached politely. "Sir, could you please switch your phone to airplane mode?" He didn't look at her, just kept talking. Then, with a smirk, "Really? You're telling me what to do? Go serve your peanuts and leave the tech to us." The air fell silent. She breathed in slowly. "My job is to keep you safe, sir, even when you make it difficult." He scoffed, turned away. She walked on, but very soon he'd beg for her help. 20 minutes into the flight, everything seemed normal. Passengers were calm. She pushed the beverage cart down the aisle with practiced grace. At row 3, he greeted her again with mockery. "Finally, the useful part of your job. Cold soda, no ice, don't mess it up." She served him calmly, but moments later, he tensed. His hand went to his chest. His body stiffened. She turned just in time to see him struggling to breathe, then collapsing sideways. A passenger screamed. Panic erupted. She didn't hesitate. She cleared the aisle, loosened his tie, and dropped to her knees beside him. Her hands worked with quiet precision, compressions, breathing, pulse, adrenaline. Some passengers asked, "Is she even trained?" But she kept going, focused, steady. She wasn't thinking of his insults. She was thinking of his life. He looked up at her, helpless, pleading. She didn't flinch. She pressed harder. The pilot announced an emergency landing, but at 30,000 feet, she was the only hope. The plane touched down safely. Paramedics took him away, alive. She stood at the back of the aircraft, exhausted, invisible again. Passengers stared in silence, some grateful, some ashamed. The woman in row 6, the nervous flyer, walked toward her before disembarking. She hugged the flight attendant without a word, just tears. An older flight attendant leaned toward a curious passenger. "She doesn't talk about it," he whispered. But she was a combat medic, Air Force, multiple tours, saved lives under fire. "Why's she here?" the passenger asked. "Because one day she wanted peace. She wanted to help without violence. But clearly, the skies still need her." Alone in the cabin, after everyone left, she sat in an empty seat. Her hands trembled. Her eyes stared at nothing. She remembered another rescue, another flight, one that didn't end as well. She had tried to forget, but some stories cling to the soul. She considered quitting, leaving it all behind, but then she heard a child's laugh echo in the aisle and smiled. The next morning at the hotel, she received a note. No name, just the flight number. Inside, a letter. I was cruel. I judged you by your uniform. You judged me by nothing and still saved me. You didn't just give me another chance at life. You showed me who I should be. Thank you. From the man who thought he knew everything. She folded it gently, tucked it away, and boarded the next flight. Another day, another row of strangers, another chance to protect, quietly, invisibly. Sometimes the heroes we need are the ones we don't even see until we're gasping for air. She was called a waitress in the sky, but that day she was so much more, and the skies, they still need her.